Okay, let's take a look at 8.1.1. We have d over dx of 3x minus 5x squared. We can simply use the power rule here, right, to determine that, of which we're going to get 3 minus 10x. No complications there. We're just using the power rule. And then taking a look at 8.1.2, we're supposed to find g prime of x when g of x is equals to 2 over x squared minus 3, and then we have the square root of x to the 7. So a few issues might arise here. We are not able to use the power rule when our function looks like that. So what do? We just rewrite it. We don't have to really complicate things. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. So we're gonna have, for the first part, g of x is equals to 2 multiplied by x to the minus 2. When you bring x squared to the numerator, the power changes sign, right? And then we're gonna have minus x to the 7 over 3. So when we have written it like this, we can then derivate, and then we are able to see g prime of x. We cannot say g prime of x at this step, it would be wrong. We say it on the last step. So this will be equals to minus 4x minus 3, right? And then minus 7 over 3 x to the 7 over 3 minus 1. So 7 over 3 minus 1, 4 over 3. So 4 over 3. So g prime of x is minus 4 divided by x to the power 3 minus 7 over 3 x to the 4 over 3. So I think we can leave it like that. I don't think we can be required to further simplify it. I think that is perfectly fine. And then 8.2, determine the equation of the tangent to f of x at x is equals to 2. So f of x is equals to x to the power 3 minus 4x squared plus 2x plus 3. When we derivate this, right, we are going to have 3x squared minus 8x plus 2. And then we substitute 2. So f prime of 2 is equals to 3 multiplied by 2 squared minus 8 multiplied by 2 plus 2. And I think this is minus 2. So that is 8.2. And then 8.3.1, we're supposed to find f prime of x using first principles. If f of x is equals to minus 6x squared. So I'm not going to do this one just for the sake of time. But ultimately, the answer we should get, f prime of x is equals to minus 12x. Right. This will be f prime of x. But you're supposed to use the first principles. You can see the mark allocation is 5. Easy marks, really. Free marks. The mark allocation is 5. But you're supposed to use the power rule. You're not supposed to... you're supposed to use first principle, not the power rule. The power rule just helps you to see if you've done the correct thing. And then 8.3.2, write down how you will restrict the domain of f such that f inverse, the inverse of f is a function. Okay, in order for me to explain this, I will also be answering 8.3.3 in the same way. Let me show you why. Okay, so y is equals to minus 6x squared, right? So the inverse is x is equals to minus 6y squared. So we end up with y squared being equals to x divided by minus 6. So y is equals to plus or minus x divided by minus 6. So you can see that we need values of x to be negative here. We need values of x to be negative, because when values of x are negative, it ensures that the square root is defined. Because if x is positive, it's not going to be defined because we cannot take the square root of a negative number. So we need x to be positive here. We need x to be greater than 0. So this is the restriction we can impose. We need x to be greater than 0. Because when x is greater than 0, the square root is going to be defined. If it is 0, it is undefined. If it is negative, it is and, well, we don't need it to be greater than 0. We need it to be less than 0. We need x to be less than 0. Because if x is positive, let's say 2, for instance, when I have 2 divided by minus 6, which is minus 1 over 3, and that is going to be undefined because it is under the square root. So we need x to be less than 0. For instance, minus 6. We're going to have minus 6 divided by minus 6, which is 1, and that is 5. So, okay, there we go. We need x to be less than 0, not greater than. Okay. 8.3.3, determine the equation of f inverse for which f inverse is less or equals to 0. Write your answer in the form y is equals to. So you can see we have a plus or minus. If we need it to be less than 0, this is the option that we need to take. F inverse of x is equals to minus the square root of x divided by minus 6. Here we go.